Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Home Turf, one of Hallmark's new fall romance sports releases, has captured attention not only for its warm-hearted story but also for the charm and authenticity of its setting. In this narration, we'll take you behind the scenes, revealing precisely where filming took place, how the cast interacted with the locations, and the little stories that made the shoot special. If you're curious where the fictional Whitendale College really stood, or how a marching band showed up just in time for a big game scene, you're in the right place. From public records, press reports, and cast comments, we know for certain that Home Turf was filmed around Salt Lake City, Utah. The primary campus location used in the film is Westminster University, situated in Salt Lake City. Much of the filming was done on Westminster's brick quads, athletic fields, and around their buildings, giving the movie an authentic small college feel. One of the standout locales used in the film is the Dolores Dorr Eccles Health, Wellness, and Athletic Center at Westminster. That facility was used for many of the film's sports, training, locker room, and practice sequences because its layout and modern design matched the fictional campus atmosphere very well. Beyond academic and athletic scenes, several local high schools and college properties in and around Salt Lake City were part of the filming footprint. For example, press coverage notes that Home Turf was shot at Lehigh High School in a suburban area of Salt Lake County. That location was particularly important because of a big football game and tailgating sequence, scenes that needed a real stadium environment plus crowd energy. During that shoot at Lehigh High, Nikki DeLoach described what she called the Day of Miracles. The production needed a marching band, cheerleaders, and dozens or hundreds of extras to make the stadium crowd look alive. Budget constraints meant the crew was worried they couldn't fill seats convincingly. But to their delight, the high school's marching band showed up, students volunteered, and suddenly the field felt electric. DeLoach credited Utah residents' enthusiasm and generosity for making that moment possible. The timing of filming is also documented. Principal photography took place in March 2025. Some reports also suggest the production spanned additional months, likely for pickup shoots and adjustments. One reason Utah and specifically Salt Lake County made sense as the filming location is the state's incentives for film productions. The Utah Film Commission lists Home Turf among recent productions benefiting from their motion picture incentive program. According to local reporting, the production was approved for incentives, with projected local spending of around $2 million and a potential incentive of up to $500,000 for in-state qualified expenses. Westminster University in Salt Lake City, where much of the movie was shot, recently rebranded from Westminster College. That name change took effect in 2023, making the 2025 filming part of its early era as Westminster University. That campus already draws attention in Utah, and the film's use of the grounds likely added some temporary buzz to local interest. Let's shift to cast and location interplay, because film sets don't exist in a vacuum. Nikki DeLoach leads the cast as Cassidy Miller, the no-nonsense, driven small college president, who finds her life flipped when freshman football players move into her home. DeLoach has expressed that Home Turf was one of her favorite shoots. She said it was the first time in her decade of working with Hallmark where she accepted a project after reading just the first act of the script. It resonated immediately. She praised the balance the story strikes: athletic energy, romantic sparks, campus life, and fall ambience. Warren Christie plays Logan, the coach who arrives to help calm tensions, bring structure, and eventually charm Cassidy's guarded heart. DeLoach even noted that when she read the script, she thought Christie would fit Logan perfectly, based on their prior work together in Our Holiday Story. Throughout the shoot, DeLoach shared glimpses behind the scenes on social media, revealing an atmosphere of joyful camaraderie. She tagged Salt Lake City in her posts, and often called her male co-stars talented, funny, generous, kind, team players, all heart. In one playful post she wrote, "Coach DeLoach here. Are you ready for some football?" Filming on a real campus like Westminster introduces challenges and advantages. The production had to work around campus schedules, foot traffic, weather, and assets like signage, landscaping, and existing architecture. But the payoff is a sense of authenticity. When characters walk between scenes, there's real depth, real backgrounds. The brick quads, Tree lines, steps, and greenery all help sell the illusion of a lived-in college world. Westminster's mix of old architecture and more modern student facilities also allowed the crew to shoot scenes that feel cohesive, even if they happen in disparate parts of campus. The athletic center, the Dolores Dor Eccles facility, served as a hub of on-screen activity. Because it already houses real locker rooms, gym spaces, multipurpose courts, and infrastructure, it gave the filmmakers a practical, visually interesting canvas. Scenes like team meetings, practice drills, and emotional conflicts naturally fit there. On staging the big football game sequence, the production leaned heavily on community goodwill. The Lehigh High School example illustrates how locals got involved. Students volunteered, the marching band arrived, and that communal energy translated into more convincing crowd scenes. Deloach called it a miracle, a moment where community support lifted a production constraint. From a logistical perspective, shooting in Utah is advantageous for several reasons. The state's picturesque landscapes, diversity of settings make it flexible. The Utah Film Commission emphasizes that the region has become a favored destination for filmmakers. The filmed in Utah listings include home turf among recent productions. Moreover, Utah's incentives make it financially attractive. Because home turf was certified for in-state spending, the project could access a tax credit of up to 25%. That kind of support helps offset travel, lodging, permitting, and local labor costs. Filming entirely in a concentrated area reduces crew travel time and allows more efficient scheduling. Estimated from public data, the shoot employed around 87 cast and crew members during the main filming block in Salt Lake County. The Utah Film Commission listing also cites home turf as an active production under their incentive program. Another element worth noting, when Hallmark and the filmmakers chose campus spaces like Westminster, they didn't just use the outdoor lawns. They also tapped interiors, corridors, offices, lecture halls, and hallways. Those internal spaces help when the story needs academic settings or character moments outside the sports arena. Though press hasn't publicly spelled out each interior room used, the consistency of the visuals suggests that many interior shots were from real campus architecture. The reason Utah and Salt Lake City made sense is further reinforced by Hallmark's track record. The region has been used before by Hallmark and other networks for its flexibility and supportive infrastructure. Returning to cast anecdotes, Deloach described how dancing between takes became a spontaneous morale booster. Because many of the cast and crew had backgrounds in musical theater, they would dance together to lighten the long filming days. That kind of playful bonding built energy on set. The casting of Warren Christie next to Deloach also carries a backstory. They previously starred together in Our Holiday Story, and Deloach said she envisioned Christie for Logan right as she read the first act. Their chemistry had been built already, so reconnecting felt natural on camera. One subtle but interesting detail is that when cast and crew were unsure how to fill bleachers or crowd shots, they relied heavily on local volunteer energy. The Utah community's eagerness to help gave the film a sense of lived-in scale. For scenes where they needed a packed stadium, they didn't depend purely on CGI or extras hired. They leaned on people showing up, often students, locals, or school groups. That makes the crowd scenes feel more organic. Because the campus was operational, the production would have coordinated with Westminster's administration to close or reroute foot traffic during shoots. They likely scheduled shooting windows during off-class hours or on weekends. They probably also used temporary signage and props to mask campus-specific features. In public reporting, Home Turf is listed as a Hallmark Channel production, produced by David Wolf and directed by Maclean Nelson. The screenplay is credited to Greg Rawson and Brian Sawyer. Because the film used real college and high school locations, props and set dressing had to blend in but also reflect the fictional world. For example, at Westminster campus they likely hung banners or signs reading Whitendale to transform a real school into their fictional one. On the athletic center, they may have added logos, field markings, bleacher wraps, or branding elements to match the film's narrative. Though the film is fictional, some scenes set in Cassidy's home were likely created by adapting existing houses or interiors near the campus area, possibly nearby residential properties or soundstage spaces. The press doesn't definitively confirm which house was used, but given the proximity of locations, the crew likely chose a house within reach of Salt Lake City base operations. As for weather and season, Shooting in March in Utah means transitioning from winter into spring. That gives the production flexibility to catch crisp autumnal or early warm visuals, depending on scheduling. However, actual fall foliage or late-season color might have been faked or supplemented with set dressing, or filmed during later pickups. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.